Good morning children. Today we are going to study chapter number 11, Human Eye and the Colorful World. So this is the figure of the human eye, in which we will discuss the structure of the human eye. So human eye is a sense organ which helps us to see the colorful world around us. The human eye is like a camera. Its lens system forms the image on the light sensitive screen, which is called as retina. The eyeball is almost a spherical in shape with diameter of about 2.3 centimeter. The light enters in the eye through a transparent membrane which is called as cornea. Behind the cornea is a muscular diaphragm which is called as iris, which is having an opening called as pupil. The pupil is controlling the amount of light entering the eye. The eyelids help us to focus the image of the object on the retina. The ciliary muscle helps us to change the curvature of the eye and changes its focal length. Now the working of the human eye. The eye lens forms a real and inverted image of the object on the retina. The light sensitive cells which are present on the retina produces an electrical signal and which are carried by the optic nerves to the brain. And brain processes the information and send the message to the eye to the brain, and we can see the object. Power of accommodation of the eye is the ability of an eye lens to see both near and distant object by adjusting its focal length is called as power of accommodation of the eye. The eye lens is composed of a fibrous jelly-like material. Its curvature can change to some extent by the ciliary muscle. The change in the curvature of the eye lens can be changed by changing its focal length, and when the muscles are relaxed, the eye lens becomes thin and its focal length increases. But when the muscles are contracted, the eye lens becomes thick and its focal length will decrease. So the focal length of an eye lens can be changed by relaxing and contraction of the muscles. Near point is the minimum distance at which eye can see an object clearly, is called as the near point or the least distance of the distinct vision. For a normal eye it is 25 centimeter. Far point. The farthest point up to which eye can see object clearly is called the far point of the eye. For a normal eye it is between 25 centimeter and infinity. Now there are certain defects of the vision and their correction that we are going to study. The first defect is myopia or short-sightedness. So myopia is a defect of vision in which the person can see the nearby object clearly but cannot see the distant object clearly, because you can see in the figure the image is formed in front of the retina. Now how to cure this defect? How it can be corrected, and what is the probable cause of this defect? So this defect is caused due to the increase in the curvature of the eye lens or increase in the length of the eyeball, and we can correct this defect by using a suitable concave lens. The another defect of vision is hypermetropia, which is also called as far-sightedness. In this defect, a person can see the distant object clearly but cannot see nearby objects clearly, because you can see the image is formed behind the retina. This defect may be caused due to decrease in the curvature of the eye lens, decrease in the length of the eyeball. Now how to correct this defect? This defect can be corrected by using a suitable convex lens. Third defect is presbyopia. This defect is a defect of vision in old people in which they are not able to see nearby object clearly due to the increase in the distance of the near point. This is due to the weakening in the ciliary muscles and decrease in the flexibility of the eye lens, and it can be corrected by using a suitable convex lens. So sometimes they are not able to see both nearby and distant object clearly, so it can be corrected by using a bifocal lens, which is consisting of both a concave and a convex lens. The upper portion is a concave for the correction of distant vision, and the lower portion is a convex lens for the correction of near vision. Now the refraction of light through the glass prism. You can see a glass prism in a figure. Now when a ray of light passes through the glass prism, you see that it bends twice, first at the air glass interface and second at the glass and air interface. So the emergent ray is deviated by an angle to the incident ray. Now you can see I incident ray is making an angle with the normal, that is called as incident ray. Emergent ray is making an angle with the normal, is called as emergent ray. So this incident ray produced and emergent ray produced are making an angle. That angle is called as angle of deviation. Now when a beam of white light is fall on the prism, what happened? It split up into a band of 7 color, which is called as the spectrum. And this phenomena is called as dispersion of light. The spectrum of the white light has the color violet to indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange and red, represented by the acronym VIBGYOR. The red light bends the least and the violet light bends the maximum. So you can see red is on the upper side of the bend and violet is on the lower side. What happens if we recombine the spectrum of white light formed by the first prism? So when a beam of white light, see the figure, passes through a prism, it gets splitted into its component color, and when this light colors is allowed to fall on an inverted glass prism, it recombines to produce the white light again. How the rainbows are formed in the sky? So rainbow is a natural spectrum which is appearing in the sky after a rain shower, and it is caused by the dispersion of sunlight by water droplets present in the atmosphere. The water droplets act like a small prism. They refract, then they disperse the sunlight, then reflect it internally, and finally refract it again when it comes out of the raindrop due to the dispersion of sunlight and internal reflection by the water droplets. We see the rainbow colors. Now few atmospheric refraction phenomena. So atmospheric refraction is due to the gradual change in the refractive index of the atmosphere. The refractive index of the atmosphere gradually increases towards the surface of the earth because hot air above is less dense than the cool air which is below. So the light gradually bends towards the normal. So the real position of the star is different from its apparent position. So you can see position of star is different, but it appears to be at a different location, which is appearing due to the changing refractive index of the medium. Twinkling of the star. The twinkling of the star is due to the atmospheric refraction of starlight and due to the changing in the position of the star and the movement of the layer of the atmosphere. So the light from the star is sometimes brighter and sometimes fainter, and it appears to twinkle. Whereas planets are closer to the earth than the stars, the light from the stars are considered as point source of light, and the light from the planets are considered as extended source of light. So the light from the planets nullify the twinkling effect. What is the cause of the advanced sunrise and the delayed sunset? Now, the sun is visible to us 2 minutes before the sunrise and about 2 minutes after the sunset due to the atmospheric refraction. The apparent flattening of the sun disk at the sunrise and the sunset is also due to the atmospheric refraction. So, the sun is below the horizon, but due to atmospheric refraction, it is appearing above the horizon. This is happening at the time of both sunrise and sunset. Now, scattering of light, Tyndall effect. When a beam of light passes through a colloidal solution, the path of the light becomes visible due to the scattering of light by the colloidal particles of the medium. So, this effect is called as a Tyndall effect. The Earth's atmosphere contains air molecules, water droplet, dust, smoke, etc. When sunlight passes through the atmosphere, the path of light becomes visible due to the scattering of the light by these particles. And the color of scattered light is also depending upon the size of the scattering particle. So, very fine particles are scattering blue light, whereas large particles scatter different colors of light. Now, why is the color of clear sky blue? The fine particle of the atmosphere have size smaller than the wavelength of the visible light. So, they can scatter blue light which has shorter wavelength than the red light which is having a longer wavelength. And when sunlight passes through the atmosphere, the fine particle of the atmosphere scattered blue color more strongly than the red color. So the sky appears bluish in color. And now if there is no atmosphere, what would happen? There would not be any scattering of light and the sky would appear dark, and the sky appear dark at very high altitude. Now, color of the sky at sunrise and sunset. At sunrise and sunset, sun is near the horizon and the light from the sun travels through the thick layer of the atmosphere and a longer distance through the atmosphere. So, near the horizon, most of the blue light and the shorter wavelengths are scattered away by the particle of the air, and the red light and the longer wavelength reaches our eye. So, the sun appears reddish at sunrise and sunset. Thank you.